One of my favorite things about my friends starting to have babies is the fact that it gives me a great excuse to start designing baby clothes. Like one of my friends just had a baby, and that baby wasn't even born yet, that I was already in the yarn shop buying yarn for him. Today's my last day in Norway, so I thought I would go to the lake house and spend the entire day needing a gift for my friends. But even with the fire, it was just way too cold to spend the entire day outside. I guess I just feel like winter is something to be experienced through a window in a very, very, very cozy bed. This is what I have now. So I'm basically making a mini baby version of my escape sweater. I'm hoping that his parents are not going to be offended that I'm matching him and not them. But they just need to start learning how to knit and then they can make their own sweater. That's the back. I was doing such great progress on my tiny sweater, but something happened. I sat on my needles, so I tried to run Weasley that shit together, but doesn't work. Doesn't work. I think I've had enough for today. I don't really feel like driving for 1 hour to just buy a new set of needles. I'm leaving tomorrow anyway, so I'm just gonna go buy some needles on my way to the airport and just I'm gonna pack. I'm gonna pack. I'll just finish my sweater on the plane. I'm back in the south of France for a few days. It's really funny how you can go from deep, deep, deep winter to spring, and it feels a bit weird and it's starting to feel a little bit too warm for sweaters, which I'm kind of sad about. I really need to enjoy the springtime because in the summertime it's going to be too warm to even wear anything knitted. Even the cotton things, it's just like when you knit something, it has a little bit of thickness to it, and when you live in a place where it's like 30, 35 degrees in the summer, that's too like it's very uncomfortable. Even knitting or crocheting outside is very uncomfortable because you just I don't know, it's just like a weird feeling on your fingers, and when you wear something that you knitted, it's just like a weird feeling on your body. I just don't really like it. In the summertime, I like to wear very tiny, tiny, tiny crochet tops that only have like the front piece and then the back is just a lace thing. That's something that I can wear in the summertime, but usually I just like to be basically naked in the summer. But yeah, anyway, I finished my sweater. I'm really, really excited about it because it looks so tiny and cute. Like I was blocking it and it could fit into the sink entirely. It was so tiny. Just so adorable. I also want to work on something else for the gift for my friend's baby. When I was in the yarn shop buying the yarn for the sweater, I found this yarn. It's a blue, kind of electric blue. It's a cotton yarn, and I bought it just because I fell in love with the color. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. But then when I started thinking about the gift for my friend's baby, I really wanted to make a toy as well. I don't know how that's called, like a just like a teddy bear, but not a teddy bear. Maybe it was because of the color, maybe it was because I don't know why, but I had that idea, then I just became kind of obsessed with it. So I want to make a blue lobster. Blue lobsters are considered to be the lucky charms of the ocean, and my friend who's having a baby is also really into like the sea and the ocean and everything. Is from Brittany. That's my idea. That's the idea that I have right now. So basically what I think I'm gonna do is make the entire body, like up until here, stuff it, make this, and then all the legs and antennas are gonna be made separately and then like seamed to the body, and the clothes too. I feel like that's probably like a nice size for it. I don't want it to be too big because I don't want the lobster to kind of be scary to the baby, but I also want it to not be like a tiny little thing. So that's what I have in mind. I think I'm gonna go maybe to the sea a little bit today and start knitting my lobster. I'm gonna go see all my friends. Well, not all my friends, but a lot of my friends this week. After 5 weeks of pure isolation in Norway, now I'm gonna go on a week of social overdose. I don't get to see my friends a lot because everyone lives in different places and they also live in big cities for most part, and I chose to live a kind of different life now, so I don't get to see them that very often. And I also really love to be on my own for long periods of time, which is also one of the reasons why I feel like I love kids the same way that I love dogs. Like I love to be around them. I feel like they're the most coolest things in the world. I usually like to interact with them probably more than I like to interact with a lot of adult human beings. What I don't really love is how dependent on you they are, and the fact that you just need to take care of them all the time, and that, yeah, they just need you. I hear sometimes stories about how mothers, they can't even go to the bathroom without having their child follow them. I would scream. I would scream. My sweater came out a little bit smaller than I was expecting. I used a different yarn that I used for my own sweater because my own sweater I made it in Norwegian Norwegian wool, which is not like it's kind of rustic and not the best for babies. So I wanted to take a softer yarn. I thought the gauge was the same, but it wasn't. Another thing that I think I want to change next time I make a baby sweater is that I'm probably gonna use yarn that I can put in the machine. When you have a baby, you probably have a lot already to do. Um, Having to wash your baby sweater by hand and then dry them flat for hours. I feel like that's not probably not something that I would love to be doing if I had a newborn baby. I tried to keep the neckline pretty loose so that the baby's head, hopefully that baby wasn't born with a giant head and it's gonna be okay. Because I was thinking about this and I remembered that when I was young, my grandma, she was trying to pull me out of a sweater and she was pulling on the sweater so hard and I was screaming inside like my head was stuck. I'm not trying to traumatize my friend's firstborn. I'm really trying to keep up with my drawing because I was kind of really into that drawing, which reminds me of a brand that had the brilliant idea of taking kids drawing and turning them into toys. I thought that was kind of the most brilliant thing ever. That's the yarn that I'm using to stuff my lobster. It just makes sense that a blue lobster would be navy blue inside. I'm trying not to stuff it too tightly because I wanted to keep a very, like, to stay very, very soft, and just like it's very soft, especially the tail. The body, I stuffed it a little bit more. I'm also gonna stuff the clothes, which I feel like the clothes are gonna be my next very big challenge. I have no idea how I'm gonna do them yet. I just know that I want them to stay a little bit like this. So that means that I'm definitely gonna have to shape them a little bit so that they go up. The antennas and legs are probably just gonna be very simple eye cords that I'm gonna attach like here and on both sides. And then the eyes, I feel like I'm gonna also use this navy blue to make the eyes if I decide to make them. There's a part of me that really wants to have a toy that feels not too childish, like something that, yes, it can be for a baby and it can be for a kid, but it's also something that you can have, like something that I would like to have for myself. For now, I need to go pack again. I'm going to Lyon and then Paris. Hopefully, I'm gonna have enough time to finish my lobster before I see my friends and their new baby, and hopefully they're gonna enjoy their gifts, because I feel like it's a gift for the baby, but it's mainly like a gift for the parents.